All right. So I noticed some pretty fucking potent energy going around in the last 12 or so hours. And now I know why. So I'm going to take a sip and then I'm going to tell you what it is. So a lockdown has been announced in Adelaide, South Australia. So I'm like, okay, yeah, more bullshit for 2020. And there's this newly awakened energy of people who have perhaps been awake from the last wave or, yeah, the last few waves even of awakening. And it's this, and I've felt it and I've like perpetuated it as I did like last year. And it's this energy of just pure frustration and I'm sure for extreme like feelings of it, even contempt for people who are still asleep and people who still fully buy the narrative. I just took my hair down and it's a bit wet and weird and annoying. Much like, yeah, people who are sleeping are annoying. You know, they are. But in order to transcend all this bullshit, everyone who's awake needs to step into a higher plane of consciousness and realize that they're not meant to wake up, you know, when we all did. If they did, the planet would have gone insane. And honestly, the dark side probably would have won. So, God, as hard as it is, we just have to try and hold space for them and wait for them to wake up. And a lot of them are going to wake up this time, you know, in this wave. You know, especially in South Australia, like we'll see, they say it's going to be a strict lockdown for the next 6 days. They're like, we're going to hit it hard and hit it fast. And so, okay, whatever. And you're not allowed to leave your house unless you're wearing a mask. Well, I say, fuck off. I'm not doing that. I will leave my house. I will do what I need to do and I will come home and I won't make trouble, but I'm not wearing a fucking mask. I have had severe chronic sinus issues and I'm not going to fucking do it. I've also had MRSA in my lungs. I'm not fucking breathing my own air. I'm not doing it. So that's not happening. There's not a snowball's chance in hell I'm doing that. So I'll leave the house, I'll do what I need to do, and then I'll come home, but I'm not going to wear a mask, so they can forget it. But yeah, so shit is getting interesting again, and oh, who am I kidding? It never stopped. But the point is, it'll be interesting to see if 6 days becomes 6 weeks. Because unfortunately, all the brainwashed masses are rushing to get tests. I'm like, well, how do you think they chalk up the fucking stats and justify locking you in your house for longer? Fucking idiots. Like, this is the energy. It's like, I think I'll just do a meditation and pull some cards and like, I'll do it on camera. I'll make another video, like, you know, calming yourself. Calming your frustrations with the newly awakened. Because I feel this too. I'm not perfect. And I think it's just like a rising of the energy because people who are already awake are like, oh my God, like it's literally the end of a year from fucking hell, a year of waking people up. And people who have been awake even before this year, watching all this bullshit. And like, we've had enough. So, yeah, I'm like, I think, yeah, probably I just need to set up my phone in my room and do an actual video. I haven't done a card video in ages, but cards are always very comforting for me, and I know they're comforting for other people. So I'll do a meditation, and then I'll pull some cards on camera. You know, I mean, I could probably create a guided meditation just off the cuff. You guys just let me know. But yeah, it's a bit frustrating, you know, like everyone's just sort of had enough of this bullshit, and we're like, it's time for you to wake up now. Like, come on. I think something that will help people to pull themselves out of that judgment is to like just stop thinking about what they're doing and look back. Go into yourself, but look back and remember how you were when you were fully asleep. You know, I mean, I was awake spiritually, and I was awake about vax stuff years ago, but all the darkest shit, all the truths about the world, the level of corruption, that sort of thing, I didn't wake up about that until like late October 2018, and then like by literally by January 2019 the blinkers were off, and I was like, holy fuck, what fucking planet is this? Where am I living? So go back to that version of you that didn't know, and how small your world is, and how black and white everything is, and how much trust and faith you had in media, in government, in social media. And just remember that, oh yeah, I used to believe that too, because that's pretty humbling. It's like, yeah, I was you. Yeah, I was. It's just that I was soul contracted to wake up before you, and you were contracted to wake up after me. You know, not everyone could wake up at once. I think, just let me let my dog inside. Hang on. Because she's old and black, which means, hey, honey, go inside. Go on. Good girl. She started huffing and puffing, and I'm like, ooh, let me get you inside quick. So, yeah, if you're struggling with this bloody, you know, whether you're still in lockdown in Melbourne, or you're just trying to reconcile this entire year, because I think we're already in a period of reflection now. You know, we're well into November, and December's around the corner. And 2020 will be over. This year isn't lasting forever. You know, it's almost over. And, you know, we're still gonna have waves of awakening when the truth comes out, and it's like, oh, actually, President Trump did win the election. That'll wake people up. And that'll be uglier than probably anything else we've seen so far. But because of how ugly it is, the people who aren't, and I think it'll be, unfortunately, it's going to be a lot of young people who have been brainwashed. Like I saw Hev Truth Seeker did a video last night, and she had this information, the video of this girl she's 29, and she's been caught at hitting one of the marches at the MAGA march, the Million March. And I'm like, Jesus, you're 29. It's like you're old enough to know better, but then they don't. They're so indoctrinated. And it's like, part of me is like, oh, you're going to have to pay for that. That's really dark. But then another part of me is like, but they're under such a spell of indoctrinated thought and belief that it's like, can they really be blamed? So we all have to start thinking about how we're going to treat people and how we're going to reconcile what they've done. And yeah, okay, they have to answer for that and they have to learn from it. But we're also going to have to figure out how to forgive them, because that could have been us. And there's going to be probably a lot of young people, because we know that in left-leaning, globalist, extremist ideology is very prevalent in universities, even in high schools and primary schools now. Like, it's ridiculous. If I had kids, I'd homeschool them. Like, full stop. They're not going to school. But yeah, just we're going to have to start thinking about how we reconcile this, because when people find out that Trump's actually won, holy fuck, mate. It'll be riots again, but probably worse than anything we've seen this year from BLM and Antifa. So, you know, and all sorts of people on the left will be out on the streets, and a lot of it's going to be young people. But there's an element to that where the people who aren't that extreme and who stay home because they have families or they don't want to be around violence, whatever their reason for staying home, they don't need a reason, they should stay home. People who stay home and witness that, and they may or may not see it on the media, because you just don't know what they're actually going to report and what they won't. But clips will be on Twitter and all those places until they're taken off, if they decide to censor it. But people are going to see a really ugly side from people of their own political leaning, and they're going to go, whoa, why are you doing that? That's fucked up. And that'll wake people up. There's so many different triggers for people's awakening and ascension, and God, like, we don't even know them all. I'm sure a lot of people wake up and they maybe couldn't even articulate it. Like, I remember waking up about vaxxers, and it was because I was in health groups and I had severely compromised health, and I knew that Western medicine had failed me, and I thought, I'm saying all these awful things to these people. I don't actually know if they're true. And I know that Western medicine has failed me, so how can I not know their story, not know any facts, and say, you're a liar, you're a baby killer, all the awful things that you say to people when you don't understand and you've been taught to think and believe something. I said all those awful things. Awful things like, oh, your children should die because you don't vaccinate. Like, everything. Every awful thing that you see pro-vaxxers say to anti-vaxxers, I've said them. Maybe not all of them, but probably all of them. Probably close. I'm not ashamed of that person, but I'm not proud of it either. But we have to remember those aspects of ourselves that were like that. Whether it's like, oh, crazy conspiracy theorists, oh, they're a write-off, like they're mental, whatever it is. Like, I don't believe the world is flat, and I'm sure there's plenty of other conspiracy theories that I just go, come on, mate, no. But they believe it. Whoever's saying that thing is true, they believe it. Like, some things are just theories, but, as we know, a lot of things aren't. It's just a conspiracy, because where humans exist, corruption exists, greed exists, and so they conspire together and do naughty things, Some things are diabolically naughty, but they happen. But yeah, so we have to start thinking about a lot of things. We have to start taking accountability for what we allow ourselves to think and feel and project out into the world. And I'm not perfect. That's why I'm making this, because there is this energy going around of newly awakened people, and maybe it's like a hijacking of the energy and they're trying to amp up this feeling. But we're starseeds and we came to reverse this shit. So we absolutely can. So if you're having these feelings of frustration, contempt, just like, wake up, you stupid fucking traitors. Like, wake up. Don't go get tested. You're traitors to your own people, because this is how they jack up the stats and say that there's another pandemic, the second wave. This is how they do it. And then it won't be 6 days. It'll be 6 weeks, or however long they can fucking drag it out for. And as much as we know all this, and there's that element of being like, wake up, you stupid fucking morons, we have to try and tame that, because we were them. And, we can't reach the next wave if we're feeding this low vibe, frustrated energy. Maybe we can turn that frustrated energy into excited energy. Like, oh, you're so close to waking up. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. This is lies. You know it deep down. If you just feel in your heart, come on, you can wake up. It's so much better over this side. You can do it. Get excited for them and put that out there instead of being frustrated. And it's so easy to fall back into that. But, sometimes it's also feeling the energy, and then we get a little bit stuck in it. But as long as you can have enough self-awareness and enough being conscious enough to realize what you're thinking and what you're saying and what you're feeling, you can rein that in and you can flip it and change it. So instead of being frustrated, I'm going to put it out there that when you're like, oh, fucking morons, because it's so easy to fall into that, I want you to get excited because it's another wave that's about to break, and another wave and another wave. It's like, come on, come to the shore. You've almost made it. You know, just be like, come on, it's so much better over here. Come on, you get to watch what's happening. Come on, you can do it. We're so excited for you. You've seen nothing yet. Come on, you can do it. You know, like start putting that out there, because that energy is going to shift things quicker. And 6 days really will just be 6 days. It doesn't have to be 6 weeks, but we have to shift our energy to manifest that and to push away the negative, dark plans for what they want. So yeah, I'll make another video and pull some cards. I'll do a meditation beforehand so that I'm settled. And yeah, we'll just have another chat and hopefully bring people a bit of like it's almost over, guys. Just hang on. It's almost, 2020 is almost over. This bullshit's almost over. And it's not going to be completely over. It's the 2020s, that 2020 vision and the things that will be uncovered. It'll get lighter and lighter as this decade progresses. So right now it's very dark. It's uncovering all the shit that's been pushed below the surface for a long time. But, in a few years it's going to be medical advancements and real proper fucking medicine, proper protocols that actually work and don't make people sicker, that don't, the treatment that doesn't give them cancer, that doesn't cut parts of their body out. It's going to be technological advances that make your life easier. Everything. 2020 vision isn't just going to be revealing the darkness. It's bringing light to the world and bringing new things. And yeah, so I think we just need to be aware of how we're feeling and start to flip it. If you're feeling nervous or frustrated or like contempt for other people, just be like, you know what? I've been there, and I'm going to feel excited for you instead, because this feeling is a choice. I'm going to be excited for you because you're about to wake up. You are about to wake up, and it's going to be scary. And you might feel like you're going crazy because there are other waves of people that haven't woken up, even though you just have. But it gets better. It gets so much better once you know what's happening, and we should be excited about that. So yeah, I hope that's helped, and I love you, and I hope you're well, and take care, and take 3 for luck, and I'll see you next time. Bye.